Final Fantasy XIV is an extremely fun game to play by yourself, but it can be even better with others. I'll be going over 5 types of FCs you might come across in this game, and if you aren't already in an FC, maybe you can pick your favorite type from this video and join it. Before we start, 99% of you aren't subscribed, and I just want to say that that is enough to make a full FC. Starting with the most common FC, casual FCs are made to have a fun place to hang out with and make friends. All kinds of players will join this FC because of its friendly nature. You'll find that these FCs will have many groups, like people who enjoy doing raids and high-end content, players who only log on for the MSQ, RPers who don't want to be in a specific RP FC, crafters, or players who do nothing but walk around the FC house looking for someone to talk to. The casual FCs normally have a high amount of players online every day, and they have FC events a couple times a month. This FC is the best for anyone who's looking for a group to play the game with, no matter what content you are doing. This is the most hardcore FC. It usually focuses on completing the current and highest tiered content in the game. Their FC chest will be full of raid food and materia for everyone to use. You'll often see them type in acronyms such as UBU, UCOB, and T. They will log in a couple days of the week to raid or to upgrade their gear so they can be ready for the next raid that comes out, but they are less known for including casual players and RPers. They take the game a lot more seriously than the average FC. You should consider joining this FC if your main focus in the game is completing the new high-end content or savage raids. Before I talk about the RPFCs, just know that there are many kinds of RPFCs. There are the kind that open a cafe or a bar, the kind that host nightclubs that hire a DJ. There are some that have huge world stories that you can be a part of. Role-playing FCs are endless, and finding the right one for you just might be really hard. Like its title, this FC has less of a focus on the core gameplay of Final Fantasy. There might not be as much high-end content, raiding, item farming, or anything you might see in other FCs, but it depends. Some FCs do both. So if you're into RP and want a group to do it with, look for one of these FCs. The Silent FC. I'm gonna guess that you've seen one of those messages in chat seeking players who only want FC buffs. These FCs usually have a shit ton of players, but the chat is usually dead. They don't do many community events, people do not socialize, they don't raid or do high-end content, they don't RP, they just exist for the chocobo stables and XP boosts. This FC is good for players who don't enjoy talking to other players in game and don't want people to do content with. Final Fantasy XIV allows players to act like they're in a single player game, and these FCs are perfect for those players. The Bomb. This one is similar to a casual FC except for one minor detail. The leader will fall in love with a member and give that member the title of co-owner. Now, this alone isn't an issue. It's what comes next that will give this FC its name. You see, when this member gets a hold of this power, you will start to see people disappearing, gone without saying a word. You'll see the leaders and officers of this FC isolating themselves from the rest of the FC, slowly becoming a kind of FC you were told they wouldn't be. Eventually, this will be called out, but nothing will happen. The officers will grow more distant and the fuse will be lit. The officers will be called out again, and you'll come to find out that these people have actually been talking shit about the other members and making other members uncomfortable even when asked to stop. And when they're called out, the co-leader will feel attacked, making the leader come to the decision of destroying the entire FC and Discord. All the memories that were created, gone, without a second thought, leaving every member without a home, scattered, and when a couple of players try to assemble all the members, the leaders will sit there at their house looking down on you all smug as if they weren't the one who destroyed everything. The Failed Revival. This FC is a direct result of the bomb. This will be the place the old FC members were assembled, at least the ones you could find. It was supposed to be a place where we could all come back together to figure out where to go from there. It will work out for a bit until someone brings up some very understandable concerns, such as people who were part of the group that caused the issues being in power again. But when it's discussed, no one will listen. No one tries to listen and come to a compromise. Instead, they fight, causing this new FC to die before it could even begin, leaving it to rot among the rubble of the crater the first FC left, scattering us once again, left with no home, no place to belong, and nowhere to go. Lost.